Hey guys, it's Tom and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the way too early NFL predictions. So for the NFC North, I think that the Lions are going to go 5-12 because I don't think they really improved. I think they actually decreased in overall basically because they lost Matthew Stafford and got Jared Goff instead. But then in the second place, I think we'll have the Vikings at 6-11. I don't really know. I just think they have a harder schedule than last year, so I think they're going to do worse. And then at number 2, I think we'll have the Bears at 10-7. But because of I think they will draft Mac Jones, and when they get him, I think they will actually do better. So they will get 10-7, and then for the Packers, I think they'll go 11-6. Since I think they actually decreased a little bit, just a little though. So they'll lose a couple games, and they got a harder schedule this year. So in the NFC South, I think we'll have the Falcons going 6-11, which I think, because they improved from last year, because they actually have some stuff that they improved in. Then we will have the Panthers at 9-8, I think. So I think that they will do good next year, but not good enough to make the playoffs. Then we will have the Saints at 10-7, because I think Taysom Hill and the people around him will make the playoffs. And the Buccaneers at 14-3, the best record in the NFC, leading the South. Then we have the NFC East, or the NFC East, I don't care which ones you call it, which I think will be the Cowboys in last place at 6-11. Then we will have, because I don't think they actually kind of improved it this season, basically, because only thing they improved in basically was the offensive lineman. And then I think the Eagles will go 8-9. So yeah, because I think they will do good under Jalen Hurts. Okay, so yeah, and then at 8-9 as well, I think the Giants, because they will have now Daniel Jones has a great target to throw to. And that means that the football team won the division at 9-8, because they got some good people back. So yeah. And then the NFC West, I think we will have, in last place, we will have the 49ers again, going 7-10, because they've improved by getting Justin Fields in the draft, but that's really all that they did. Then we will have the Cardinals at 8-9. Yes, they improved a lot, but not enough to make the playoffs. And then we will have the Rams at 10-7. Matthew Stafford leading the way, and leading them to a playoff berth. And then we will have the Seahawks at 13-4, winning the division again, because they improved in the offseason. Then the NFC playoff standings, I would say, are the Buccaneers in first, the Seahawks in second, the Packers in third, the football team in fourth, the Saints in fifth, the Rams in sixth, and the Bears in seventh. Then we have the AFC North, which I think we will have the Bengals at 6-11. So, because I would say they improved in offensive line, so they go up one win. So Joe Burrow won't get hurt this year, so they will do better. So now we have the Steelers actually at 9-8. So I think they actually did worse this year because they lost Juju. No, they have them still. It's just confusing. I think they will do not as good next year because they will have a harder schedule. So then we will have the Browns at 12-5, which will definitely make the playoffs, because they are just doing great. And then we will have the Ravens at 13-4. They are going to win the division. And then in the AFC South, I think we will have the Texans at 2-15, which they will earn the number 1 draft pick for next year. Because Deshaun Watson doesn't want to play there anymore. He might sit out all the games. And all that legal stuff he's having right now might keep him out of the NFL for the next year. Even if he wanted to play for them and didn't want to not play football for that year. Then we will have at 7-10 the Jaguars. I think they will majorly improve under Trevor Lawrence. So they'll go 7-10. Then we will have the Titans at 11-6. I think they will do a little bit worse because they lost some people in free agency, but they will still do kind of good. Then we will have the Colts at 11-6. Yes, I think Carson Wentz teaming up back with Frank Reich will be a great connection. So then we will go to the AFC East, which I think it will be Patriots at 4-13. Okay, so they are not going to improve under Cam Newton this year at all. So yeah. Then I think we'll have the Jets at 6-11. So yeah, I think they will improve under Zach Wilson a lot. So yeah. And then we have the Dolphins at 12-5. And then we got. So I think they'll do good under Tua's second year of playing. Then we will have the Bills at 14-3. Because they do great every year, it seems like. Until the Patriots fell, they did great every year. Then the AFC West, we have the Broncos at 5-12, I think. They are going to improve under Caleb Farley, I think, because that's, I think, what they need. Kind of. Then we will have the Raiders at 7-10. I think they will kind of do better, kind of do worse in some spots, and do better in other spots. So yeah. Then we'll have the Chargers at 11-6. So yeah, I think that Justin Herbert is going to do great with them. And then we'll have the Chiefs, of course, at 14-3, the same record as the Bills. I think the team that has gone to the Super Bowl twice in a row will make the playoffs again. Then the AFC playoff standings. In first place, we will have the Bills. Second place, we have the Chiefs. Third place, the Ravens. Fourth place, the Colts. Fifth place, the Dolphins. Sixth place, the Browns. And seventh place, the Chargers, beating out the Titans for that spot. Then the wild card weekend. So I think we will have the Bears versus the Seahawks, and I think that the Bears will beat the Seahawks 28-24. Then we will have the Rams versus the Packers. In game from last year in the playoffs, I think that the Packers will win 27-21. Then we have the Saints versus the football team. I think that the Saints are going to win on a close win, 21-18. Then the AFC, we will have the Chargers versus the Chiefs. I think the Chargers are going to lose 28-31. A close win by the Chiefs. Then we have the Lamar Jackson-led Ravens versus the Browns. I think that the Lamar-led Ravens are going to beat the Browns 28-14. Then we will have the Colts versus the Dolphins. I think that, honestly, the Colts will win 21-18. And then the NFL divisional round, I think we would have the Bears versus the Buccaneers. And the Bears would lose on a almost upset 27-28. Then we'd have the Saints versus the NFC North champions, the Packers. And I think the Saints would win 31-28. Then the Bills Mafia versus the Ravens. I think that the Bills Mafia would pull it off 35-28. Then the Andy Reid-led Chiefs versus the Colts. I think that the Colts will pull out an upset 34-28. And then we have the NFC Championship. I think that we'd have the Bucks versus the Saints. And I think that the Saints would pull it out in an honorary for Drew Brees. And now we have the same AFC Championship match again, but I think that the Bills will pull it out in a high-scoring game, 47-42. Then in the Super Bowl, we will have the Saints versus the Bills, and I think that the Bills will lose it 35-32 to the Saints. Then the NFL awards here. We have getting the MVP, Josh Allen. He gets so close to winning the Super Bowl, but he still wins the MVP. But then we have the AFC Offensive Player of the Year. I think it'll be Josh Allen because he won the MVP. Then we have the AFC Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, because he led the Steelers in the most tackles probably. Then we would have Coach of the Year, I think would be, honestly, Bruce Arians. Yeah. Then at NFC Offensive Player of the Year, I think we'd have Tom Brady, because he led his, the Buccaneers to the best record in the league. And now we have the NFC Defensive Player of the Year. I think we'd have Chase Young, improving a lot from last year. Then we'd have the Comeback Player of the Year would be Matthew Stafford, leading his team to the playoffs. And then we would have the NFC Rookie of the Year, offensive rookie, Justin Fields from the 49ers. I think he's going to do really good next year. And then NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think we'd have Patrick Surtain from the Panthers. And then we'd have AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think we'd have Trevor Lawrence from the Jaguars. Then AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think we'd have Caleb Farley from the Broncos. Then NFL FedEx Passing Player of the Year would obviously be Josh Allen. Then the NFL FedEx Rushing Player of the Year would be Derrick Henry again. Then we'd have NFL FedEx Receiving Player of the Year. I think we'd have DeAndre Hopkins. Then at NFL Return Man of the Year, I think it'd be Cordell Patterson, because I think he's going to be signed by somebody and he's going to do great this year. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to subscribe and for more of my content. Goodbye.